So initially, I was playing on my own private server, minding my own business, when suddenly I got a text on Discord saying that I was unbanned from Urvala. Now, the second I got that text, I figured I should instantly hop on Urvala and greet all of my fans because apparently I got unbanned for the fact that the previous video that I posted was seen by the owner and a bunch of other staff, and they all set up a team of, you could say, lawyers to unban me from Urvala, and it somehow worked, and now I got unbanned. First things first, I obviously checked to see if they destroyed my nether portal from my last video, and luckily they didn't. Upon being unbanned, the owner teleported to me and gave me some steak to start me off on my journey, and with that, I was alone, and I decided to go and check out the things that changed while I was gone in the past 2 days. But obviously, I had to show them that I was a changed man by destroying the one thing I cared about on this server, my nether portal. After all, I had learned not to break the rules. But apparently, I was a wanted fugitive because everywhere I went, mods and, admins were all teleporting to me and watching over my every single goddamn move. But either way, it was pretty funny considering this guy ended up walking up to me with this really interesting Fortnite skin and started asking me red pill or blue pill. But instead of answering, I just ran away from him and came to the conclusion that the last time the area where I met TV in was completely grieved. Like, there was nothing left, so I just took whatever remained of it and decided to call it a day from there. Either way, I went over and I met up with my old teammate Michus from my last video, and it was pretty awkward to say the least. Again, majority of this is just going to be like everybody having fun and everybody enjoying themselves, but despite that, the last time I logged on, it was nothing like that. So I felt as if something was off and decided to just be myself by trying to get my hands on illegal items. Even then, I'm not a person to fool around a lot. Even if I was, you would never know because you only see what I want to show you. But here I was just going around calling the admins hackers because it was just funny, okay? Anyhow, I saw one of the admins was pretending to be the director from Unstable Universe, and I figured since it's an admin, why not ask them for free stuff? And surprisingly, they were really nice and actually did, in fact, give me free shit. But I figured that if I'm going to be a normal Urvala player, I might as well try to become a leader by killing one of the other leaders, because that's at least what I heard, which was if you kill a leader, you get their crown, or rather, a netherite helmet. So I decided to go to one of the admins and ask them if they could sell me some of the green stuff, some weed. And in Remedis, I also ended up meeting my biggest op ever called Drain Falcon. But I was pretty curious to see if they did in fact patch the nether portal thingy, and sadly, to my misery, they in fact did patch it. I went side questing in my own personal world for a while, but then I also decided that I wanted to go and visit the Syndicate of Shadows, which is known to be the most treacherous and evil or whatever, the most feared group on the server, also known for mainly containing Glacian as their members. But obviously, being a Pyroth always screwed me over in the ass, so I ended up rage quitting that night and decided I'll just continue playing the next day. I also heard that Remedis had a new castle, so I decided to go and visit it since I really love to show you guys all of the amazing builds that they have in Urvala. I mean, look at how impressive it is. Starting to make me think I wish I could live here too. God damn. I also tried my luck and asked Savant if I could have an armor trim, but obviously the answer was no. During this entire recording, I was planning on becoming immortal, and seeing as the admins could see proximity chat as I was explaining this to my friend Ari over here, Savant teleported to us. That's basically the entire context of why Savant appeared here. But I decided to just dedicate myself to fishing Nautilus shells so that I could actually make the said conduit. Although I don't have this recorded, I got my heart of the sea by barking for one of the admins' TV. And I didn't actually expect them to give it to me. I expected them to just have me bark and then afterwards just ignore me completely. But lucky for me, I did in fact end up getting the heart of the sea. While I was recording a whole separate recording for TikTok, we got teleported into this little stadium thingy for some kind of event or whatever, but I wasn't really interested. It was just some stuff about nations and leaders and all of that crap that I don't really care about. But while I have this opportunity, let me explain to you what a conduit could do for me and how it's going to make me immortal. So, to put it shortly, my species is a pyroth. And in case you don't know what that is, go check out my last video. It has a whole explanation down there. A pyroth takes damage from water, but I also noticed that the kind of damage we take is drowning damage. So I figured that if I got a conduit, it would give me water breathing and I wouldn't have to deal with that anymore. So I figured that it would make me immune to any kind of water damage that's related to drowning. This doesn't include the splash potions of water, however. Anyway, after the event, we were all teleported back to our original spawn points, and I decided to go meet up with the leader of Syndicate, known as Lilith. I was tired of fishing, and I ended up meeting up with one of the admins, again, TV, because I needed prismarine shards, and they weren't obtainable normally, so I was trying to buy them off of him. But in the end, I ended up getting killed. And the only issue I had with that was the fact that I had blaze rods, which I was not supposed to have, but I did, and I didn't end up telling anybody. And all of my items disappeared. Like, I had nothing on me. And I was really mad, so I just started crashing out on this guy until he gave me something to compensate me. Now, since everybody kept complaining about everything Savants did, which I personally think they had valid reasons to complain, but Savants ended up shutting down the server and threatened to delete it if people kept complaining, since I at the same time understand both perspectives. It is his server and he gets to do what he wants with it, but he was kind of making it really unplayable and really, really boring for everyone. So, in a sense, you kind of had nothing to do because this individual did, in fact, restrict us a bunch. But again, it's his server, so it's his rule, right? After a bunch of side questing, I ended up becoming pen pals with this one person who lived in the middle of nowhere. So, if you ever end up seeing this video, just do know I'm the person who said hi to you that day. Back to the conduit, I was explaining my plan to Ravy Dizzy, but then TV walked in, and luckily with us, he didn't really care that much about it, and I ended up buying stuff from him, even though earlier that day, Savant had taken his shop from him, but he was still willing to sell me something one last time. Now it was finally time to start building the conduit, and unfortunately, it didn't work. I'm sorry to disappoint everyone, but it did not work. It didn't give me water breathing because of some stupid stuff with my species. However, I figured that something else that it could do is it gave me night vision and it increased my mining speed when underwater, so I decided why not use it for X-ray? I gave up on that idea instantly since I kept taking too much damage and I just died every time I tried. So I just side quested and played on Ordercraft instead because look at how cute this looks. They had diamond shields. I met back up with Mitrus and we both collectively decided to go to the tomb. The tomb is what we call the first ever nether portal made on Urvala, or at least for the two of us. It was the area we were flying towards in the last video, but I just didn't ever end up showing y'all what it looked like. We made it over and we had to tear down the nether portal. As painful as it was, we couldn't keep it. Even if it was for memory's sake, we'd probably both get banned. But then arose the question, if Urvala is already so buns, no offense, but everything is restricted, why bother even worrying about getting banned? And why not try to get nether access again and just dominate the server with netherite upgrades? It seemed as though Drain Falcon, my biggest op, also shared this thought, and surprisingly, we decided to ally to try and go to the nether together. But I'm gonna be honest, it was a struggle because every time we tried to go, all of a sudden we die of fall damage or of any kind of reason. We just die and have to redo it all over again because we couldn't leave one person behind. Here's a few of the tries that we did because I figured there are some pretty nice memories, so I might as well show them to y'all. It was just us attempting several times over and over, but Michus ended up logging off because it got a little bit too competitive, so it was now just me and Drain Falcon. I asked Drain Falcon to get a skin that would make his hitbox slightly smaller so that we could, glitch through it, since I assumed that the way they patched it was by making it so that if you got into a specific range of it, it would just break on its own. And sadly, this guy misunderstood what I meant, so we ended up just not doing it for that day. So I gave up because I kind of knew realistically there was no way we would be able to glitch through it now that they patched it, or maybe there was and I'm just too dumb to see it. But Drain Falcon ended up logging off, and I decided that I'm just gonna, edit this video instead of just wasting my time trying to do anything important. Either way, thank you for watching, even if it's a very short video, and I hope that I'll be able to see you in the next one. Leave us a sub here if you already haven't. And that's pretty much it. Bye bye!